Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad. Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and today will be episode 23 in Building Chicago and part 5 of Scratch Bash Fever. Alright, so we're going to continue working on background buildings back there that help cover up the loop of the trolley track. And what we're going to work on is the DPM kit, Empty Arms Hotel. Get it? Empty Arms Hotel. All right. And this is the picture of the kit. And these DPM, much like City Classic kits, are very simplistic, with limited number of parts to them. You get 4 walls. The doors and windows are all molded in. The true joy in these buildings is the painting and detailing and such, and that's why I love to kit bash them. Okay, and so what we're going to do? Here's the back side. This side panel over here, we're going to move it around and put it on the front and lengthen the building some. Because it's part of a strip of background buildings, we'll use some 40 mil styrene for the sides, cut away to allow for the trolley track and the trolley to pass through. We'll put a lot of LEDs in it. We're going to do some interior rooms with some interior scenes. And we're going to put signage and false fronts, so to speak, on the inside of the glass. One for a bar, and 2 will have the restaurant. We'll have the hotel lobby, and we'll have something else. Because of its location and stuff, this isn't a high-class hotel. Empty Arms falls right into a seedy style of hotel, so we're going to build it with that in mind. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So I've gone ahead and I've got it all primed up here, just using an automotive primer, primer gray. And I like to do that for a number of reasons. It helps stop light bleed, although on these DPM kits the plastic's real thick and you really shouldn't have to worry about light bleed on them. And I've also gone ahead and added this backing, the tops I talked about previously, and I've drilled them out so that they can accept the corresponding size bulb for lighting. Over each window will be one of these white bright LEDs, and above the doors will be, and I'm gonna find one. Above the doors will be one of the warm white 3mm bulbs. Oh. 3mm bulbs. Okay, and they slide right in there, like that. Okay, and what I've done is, for the ones in the doorways, I've gone ahead, and I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it out, but I've added some light shelters. We don't want that bulb to be blaring right at us, because that's outside. The other bulbs are behind the glass, or the glazing, which will have a interior printout, okay, like I've done in the past, and we'll get to those later. Now, these little things in the windows, if you look at the pictures of the Empty Arms Hotel, they're not there. So they may just be a place for the plastic injection. I left them in, and here's why. We're going back into the 60s, where air conditioning wasn't prevalent like it is today. So I'm going to say that these are either air conditioning and or fan units. And I'm going to have one of the signs in the windows that says AC available. Okay? At least that's what the plan is at this point. So just to give it that 60s feel. It's got that type of architecture. The interiors I've collected are also older style interiors, so hopefully they match up some. And I still got some more surprises. So the next thing I'm going to do, I got, as you can tell, I'm in the spray booth, and I am going to add. I'm going to mix up these two colors. All right. English ivy green and crisp green to get a iron type facade green, and then I will come back with the ivy green for green with some of the detail. So with that, let me get this mixed up and then we can get the paint. All right, we're on day 3 now of building the MT Arms hotel, and that semi-seedy place by the train station. So, and as I said, we're gonna have fun with this one. All right, so we're on day 3, and what we've done so far is, of course, we've kit bashed, we've added an extra panel that normally for the would have been on the side. We brought it around here. The other side panel is a brick wall with some windows and stuff in it, so it really didn't fit the same architecture as this. So what we've gone ahead and done, and we've spliced it up together. We've added the wing walls and recessed the entryways. We painted it, and it's a two-tone. It's the green, kind of olive green with teal window frames. Okay, and we painted up fans and AC units in gray. And we've gone ahead and added the glazing, as you can probably see from the reflections. Okay. And what we're going to do is my typical thing. We're going to add false interiors to these 4 windows, 5 windows, I can almost count. And one is going to be a bar and a restaurant and a hotel, lobby area, and a spa or massage parlor over here in the corner. All right, and we're going to put 4 interiors to the rooms in there as well. So the next thing we need to do is, for those windows that aren't going to have some kind of interior showing through them, we need to frost those over. Okay? So let's mask off the windows that are getting interiors, and then we can use a matte varnish to frost over the rest of the windows. We'll turn this over. We'll get out the old masking tape. As soon as I find it. There it is. All right, so as you can see, got the window shades in. The windows have been glazed over, with the exception of these 2. This one and that one, which will have interiors made with them. Now, I did take the opportunity to scan this and do some artwork on the scan, so let's take a look at that. And there you go. The Empty Arms Hotel. It's got a bar, a restaurant, a hotel lobby, and it's got a massage parlor. Because this is the seedy hotel. All right. So that I will add to my flats for if anybody wants one. All I gotta do is let me know. And it will have 3 entryway. The flat will have 3 entryway lights. So anyway, let's go back to the live picture. And this will have the lettering as well, across the Empty Arms, across the top, and decaling on the windows itself as we get going. Now, I've gone ahead and gone a step further and started on the structure. Okay, I did put the floor for the 3rd floor. This is where the electrical bus will be. I can now start to run my wiring. I do need some MDF to adhere to the styrene, because we don't want to melt the styrene as we solder leads and so forth on. But we do have the sides on, we have this, some reinforcement to it. I can't do the top or the partial back until I get all the interiors done. So we'll start to tackle that tomorrow. Okay, so I have the Empty Arms all built, lighted. There's like 16 LEDs in this thing to make sure that the like the bar interior shows up. I'm going to zoom this out here for a second. Make sure like the bar interior shows, and the restaurant interior, the hotel lobby, and the massage parlor. Okay? And then we have 4 interior rooms. We have one here. This has a blinking red light because the occupant, well, she's kind of advertising, if you catch my drift. Then down here, in this window, we see a woman. She's fully clothed in a mini skirt right there, looking out the window, waving. She may be trying to attract some attention as well. And in this room, well, we're not going to say, but if you look in real close, you might see an interesting scene with that one. Let me see if I can zoom in right around the center. Zoom in some more. Nah, it's pixelating stuff too much. So. But trust me, there is a couple in there, so to speak. And then up here in this window, they're out-of-towners. They obviously don't know the culture of the Empty Arms Hotel. And it's a man holding up a little girl on his shoulders up here. All right. So, what's next? Well, we need to put the signs on. And being, center this, MTARMS. Right? And then we need to put signs in these windows as well. Right? And the signs we're going to use, we're going to have a bar, and we're going to have restaurant, and hotel lobby, and massage. Right, so I printed off some decals. And I thought I'd go with a light yellowish mustard here. Unfortunately, it doesn't show up very well. and I sealed this sheet with a matte finish, like I do most of my decals. But the window signs need to be gloss. Okay, so I reprinted, and I changed the lettering from the yellowy mustard to black, and I upped the font one notch on each one of them. So, and just as an example, we've got this right here. And so hopefully these will show up a little bit better. Okay. And as long as I'm printing decals, I try to fill it out with stuff I may need in the future. I always could use some American flags. I always use some. I need CTA, Chicago Transit Authority decals for the 3 trolleys, and there's 6 per trolley. So I've got a few extras on there. And then I got some heralds, upsized a little bit to go on the bridges. Okay, the girders, like you always see the heralds on different bridges. So that's what these are for. Okay. Excuse me, leading into Union Station. And then finally, I also have down here some Chicago flags that I have to cut out. And these smaller ones are going to go on the Chicago PD stables there by Union Station. So I can have a horseback policeman on the men or man. It all depends. Okay, so I just reprinted and sealed the updated decals, so we've got to wait for that to finish, and then we can start on that. So hang tight. Okay, so we started adding our decals. Bar, restaurant, hotel lobby, and massage. The MT arms is next, but I wanted to talk about this. Typically, when you're decaling, you want to spray the surface with a gloss if you're getting commercial decals. And that's because the decals are a gloss. So you spray the surface you're putting on gloss, put the gloss decal down, and then you come back with a matte flat finish, if that's so desired. On this kit, we need 2 different things. First of all, the decals are custom. I made them. And depending on how you seal them, that previous process may not hold true. Now, the windows are glossy, okay? At least the first floor. So those decals were made with a gloss sealer. Okay? Now for the MT arms that goes across the top, those are sealed with a flat matte finish. Okay? So I don't want to spray that with gloss. There's no need. I'll put the flat sealed decals on, and as I've done with these decals, I've used a Solvaset to help with the decaling process. And I'll use Solvaset on the MT arms too when I get around to that. So stay tuned, and we'll get after that next. Alright, these are all decaled. Solid set's been done on the bottom. Now to do the solid set on the top. We'll wait for that to all dry. Just don't blot it. You gotta let it evaporate off. Once that's done, I'll mask off, hit that with an additional coat of matte finish, and we'll call it a day. So hang tight. Next step will be, after I get it coated matte finish on there, will be put her back on layout. Alright, so that's what the package looked like. And notice it's 2 doors. And the flat I made after all the customization looks like that. And it's 3 doors. Because I took the side over here and moved it around to the front. So that made for another panel and lengthened out the building. Once doing that, couldn't use this other side, didn't need to use the back. So let's take a look at what's left over, shall we? Here's the back panel. So I can use this to make yet another structure. I can replace the barn door here with an entry door. I should have some extra of those in my bin. I have one extra side panel from the other side, and again, it's not an iron front like the front of the building. Both of the rear and this one side are brick, so I can make another 5-panel building. And or less. Okay. What else? I have the thin strip of styrene that was for the roof because I used a much thicker 40 mil piece that I have. It came with some bracing for the corners and such, and to brace where how the roof lays on. So I again used some strips that I have. It came with 2 strips. Thin strips used to recess the front doors, and again I use 40 mil instead of these thin stuff, but I'll keep this because all this is good. It also here's the 40 mil that I had and used versus what came with it. Alright, so it also came with some acetate. And I still have 2 extra pieces of acetate left. And all this will go into my extra bin. And for the next kit bash or scratch bash fever building. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at how it looks on the layout, shall we? With that, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Magazine Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.